Baltimore, what is going on? Welcome into the Ravens Rundown. I'm your host, Joey Peterson, and today we're checking in on our stocks. A little Dow Jones, seeing whose stock is rising, seeing whose stock is falling after 3 weeks of training camp. But before we get into that, I got a little challenge for you guys. I would love for you to follow me on Twitter. I'm tweeting about the Ravens every single day. Currently, I'm sitting at 703 followers. Can we get it to 715? That's just 12. 12 of you. Give me a follow on Twitter. I'm there at Joey Peterson 8. And again, tweeting about the Ravens every day. And if you do follow me, I got some incentives for you. You will get a shout out on Saturday's watch party. So again, head over to X, Joey Peterson 8. Give me a follow there. Today's show, what we're looking at, stock up, which players are playing well throughout training camp, who has increased their stock for the Ravens, who's decreased their stock for the Ravens, who's a dark horse to make this roster, and Lamar's grade throughout this training camp. Now, quickly, before we want to get into it, I want to shout out a couple people. Jonah Schaefer, Gianna Jade, the Baltimore Banner. They put this media poll survey together. These are all the media poll grades, and all the reporters, all the beat writers that are in training camp with the Ravens, grinding it in the heat. Shout out to all you guys because these are all their votes. I'm going to look at them. We're going to talk about them, and then I'm going to give my votes as well. Let's start with stock up. Who are some guys whose stocks have been rising over the past couple weeks of training camp? Darius Washington is the top of this list, and by a mile. If every list we look at from here on out, this is the biggest lead. 8 votes are Darius Washington. Second, Isaiah Likely with 4 votes. Been talking about him a lot. Jalyn Armour-Davis, he's got 2 votes. Kyle Hamilton and Qadir Ismail, they got 1 vote each. Kyle Hamilton, that's a little interesting, him there. I feel like his stock was already pretty high, but, I mean, he's been balling, so I guess that's fair to say. Anthony Miller, 1 vote for his stock rising. Guy we signed, last week? He's had a couple really good plays in training camp. He's got a vote. Odafe Oweh, he's got a vote. Roger Rosengarten has a vote. Trenton Simpson, Tylan Wallace, all coming in with 1 vote. Tylan Wallace, definitely a guy I would agree for there. My pick, the guy I would say whose stock has risen the most is Jalyn Armour-Davis. If you look back at May, CBS Sports released this article about Jalyn Armour-Davis. They said, Armour-Davis, a 2022 fourth-round pick, suited up for just 4 games as a rookie, then 8 games in 2023 before ending the season on injured reserve with a concussion. He could have his work cut out to earn a roster spot, especially given that he mostly contributed on special teams in 2023. That was just 3 months ago. And now we're talking about him like he has the biggest stock rise since training camp. That's fantastic. That shows you how much he's been balling over the last 3 weeks. And I'm not saying he's going to be your cornerback 1, your cornerback 2, or even your cornerback 3, but he's going to provide very valuable depth for this Ravens team. And with Nate Wiggins not playing on Saturday, that's not confirmed yet. I'm just assuming he left the Eagles game last Friday with an injury. I wouldn't play him if I was John Harbaugh. I'm assuming he won't be. But with him not playing, Jalyn Armour-Davis has a chance to go in there and increase his stock even more than he already has. Now, he also has a chance to decrease it, but I think if he plays like he's been playing training camp, he'll definitely increase that stock. So do you guys think Jalyn Armour-Davis will have a breakout year? I think he could. Again, I don't think he'll be a starter, but I think he'll be a solid depth piece in this secondary. So let me know in the comment section down below. Type Y for yes, type in for no, let me know. Our stock down. Time to get a little bit negative. Josh Johnson, Devontae Walker, tied up there at the top with 4 votes each. Josh Johnson, not surprising. We saw this coming. We saw him play against the Eagles. After that performance, completed 4 passes and 12 attempts. For a guy who's been in the NFL for a while, your stock's going to go down after that one. Devontae Walker, that's a tough pill to swallow. Rookie wide receiver, a guy you get in the 4th round. To see he's on this list is kind of a punch in the gut. He's still got some time. Hopefully he'll show out in preseason game this weekend, the week after, but he's still got some time to rise that. I'm not going to Obviously not going to call it quits on the kid, but you definitely don't want the rookie wide receiver to be on this list. Malik Cunningham, he's got 3 votes. David Ajabo, 2. Nelson Aguilar, 2. Malik Cunningham started off training camp really well, hasn't ended it very well. Rashid Ali, he's got 2 votes. We talked about him a lot for guys who maybe weren't playing as well last week's preseason game as we wanted them to. Not surprised to see him on this list. Salah Almave La'alu, he's got 1 vote. Rashod Bateman, Daniel Fa'alele, Fa'alele and Charlie Kolar each with 1 vote as well. My pick for stock down, whose stock in my eyes has decreased the most over the past couple of weeks, I'd go with Rashod Bateman. We talked about this a lot. It's just been 1 step forward, 3 steps back, right, with Rashod. He is hurt. Again, not his fault. And then he comes back. And then there was a couple weeks ago, he finally was practicing again, and there were tweets, his chemistry's off with Lamar Jackson. Then he's hurt. He's not practicing again. Then he comes back, and then after 1 rep of one-on-ones, he takes the pads off. He doesn't practice for the rest of the entire day. And so that just, to me, his stock has gone down. We need him this year. The Ravens are going to need Rashod Bateman this year. He's going to need to fill in that gap that OBJ is leaving. You're not going to need 1,000 yards out of him, but you're going to need 600, 700. I think he can do it, but his stock has definitely decreased over the last couple weeks of training camp. Before we get into our dark horse candidates, I want you guys to hit that sub button. Watch party season is here. It's exciting. We're live on Friday. We'll be live Saturday. We'll be live the Saturday after that. And then, of course, we'll be here for that Thursday night kickoff game against the Kansas City Chiefs. So hit that subscribe button because it's the best time of the year. Watch parties. We got daily videos. We have, I'm on Twitter. I'm everywhere. Hit that subscribe button. Join the channel. You'll be glad that you did. Next to our dark horse roster candidates. These are the media members' votes for what guys coming into training camp you would have said probably weren't going to make a roster spot, who've proven to be pretty solid players that might sneak out in that 53-man. Owen Wright, top of the list, 9 votes. No surprises there. We've talked about him a lot. Tayshawn Manning, 3 votes. Bo Braid with 2. Joe Evans with 2. And then you got a bunch of 1 voters. Qadir Ismail with 1 vote. Keith Kirkwood with 1 vote. We saw him have a great 19-yard catch in last week's preseason game. Sean Ryan has a vote. Dayton Wade, Ardarius Washington, and Demarion Pepe Williams all have 1 vote. My pick for the dark horse, for the roster spot, goes to Owen Wright. Owen Wright was pretty dang good in the preseason game. I think he was one of the brighter spots last weekend against the Eagles. 7 carries, 33 yards, 12 yards was his longest rush. And just when you compare him to the other guys that were in that running back room, just far and away better than any of them. Almost 4.5 yards per carry. He just looked really, really good, and we're going to need a guy. The Ravens are going to need a guy to fill in that wide receiver 3 spot, running back 3 spot, and I think Owen Wright is going to be the guy that does it. But who do you guys think as a dark horse candidate to make this roster? I think it's Owen Wright. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Before we get into Lamar Jackson's grade, I got to tell you about this awesome deal they're offering right now at Fanatics. Winter is coming, which is kind of bad news, but that means football season's here, which should get you pumped up. Those crisp, cool 60, 50-degree games are coming at the bank, so go ahead. Go to chatsports.com/Ravens hoodie and get yourself a Fanatics hoodie. Look how sweet that is. 50% off. So head to chatsports.com/Ravens hoodie and get yours today. The last thing the Baltimore Banner released was Lamar Jackson's grades for training camp. Fluctuate a lot. A or A minus, 1 vote each. 1 voted an A, 1 voted A minus. B plus, 6 votes. B, 11 votes. B minus, 2 votes. Someone voted a C. My vote, B plus. It's hard to fully say, honestly, when you're not there watching all the training camp reps, especially for a quarterback. But, man, he missed the first week because he was sick, and then he came back off of being sick, looked really good. I know he's had some fluctuating days. He's thrown a couple of interceptions. I think that's a testament less of him and more of how good the secondary has looked so far. But I'd give him a B+. He's played fine, made some good plays, made some great throws. Obviously, he's Lamar Jackson. He's been doing great things with his legs. But I think there's a lot more hype coming out of training camp last year about he was playing, and I think that's kind of dipped a little bit over the past 365 days. But still, it's Lamar Jackson. He's done well. He's thrown touchdowns, thrown a couple of picks, yeah, but I've got a lot of faith in the guy. I'm going with B+. How would you guys grade Lamar Jackson's training camp performance? Just based on clips you've seen on Twitter, tweets you've seen from beat reporters? Let me know. A, B, C, D, or F in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. And again, follow me on X. I'm there at Joey Peterson 8.